So here we are in the Great Dismal Swamp National Wildlife Refuge, and we're on one of our trails that we use to manage our endangered red-cockaded woodpecker projects. And I'm going to stick this stick back down into the peat just to give you an idea of, you know, what the peat soil is all about. So I put it down here and I can't really go any further, and that's because there's two layers of peat. There's an upper peat that's more porous, and then about 1.5 feet, 2 foot down, there's a more confined layer of peat. And so it's that upper peat, you know, that's dark, it looks like mud, and this upper peat can store most of the water in the swamp because of it's so porous. And you know, the peat is extremely important because number one, it's what supports our forest. It is the soil type we have, and it supports the forest. But of course, one of the benefits of peat soil is the carbon sequestration potential. And we've had a lot of research done out here in the last several years looking at our greenhouse gas emissions in different habitat types. And there's a lot of storage capacity for carbon in this peat. 33% of the capacity to store carbon is in peat soils. And yet peat soils only make up 3% of the land surface in the world. So peat is very important for us managing our habitats, but it's also important for the greater good of looking at greenhouse gas emissions and climate change impacts.
What happens if there's a fire? It releases a lot of carbon, right?
Yeah, and if we have a wildfire out here, it'll burn. The peat soil burns. If it's not wet enough, if it's dry, it'll burn. And then what happens is we have an acute emission of carbon into the atmosphere from the smoke that's caused by the burning peat.